Hello, and welcome to Sim Games TO, and I'm your host Tony. Today in our real-life build of Whitehorse, up in the Yukon Territory of Canada, we're going to be setting up the city's fishing industry. So let's take a look at the fishing map to see what kind of fish can be found in which parts of the water. We seem to have a lot of purple right here in the center, which represents shellfish, so it looks like that's what we're going to go with. So now I'm going to select the shellfish fishing harbor, and we're going to find a place to put it right here along the highway, where it will be close to the shellfish waters and commercial district, and we're going to connect it to the highway. Next I'm going to make the fishing route, which is the route that the fishing boats will be taking to collect the fish, and this will go in and out of the fishing harbor. In order for this route to be operational, it must be completely connected, but it would seem that the route for some reason does not want to connect. This does randomly happen with this add-on that comes with the Sunset Harbor DLC. You will have to play with it sometimes to get it to work, but in this case it seems that I'm not having much luck with this one. So let's try to place a second fishing harbor here and see if that one's fishing route will work. So what I'm going to do is test it out first to see if it works. Once I can see that it will connect, I can go ahead and finish up the rest of the fishing route and connect it back to the fishing harbor because I know that it's working. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm going to keep the route within the confines of the shellfish waters to maximize the efficiency of the fishing route. I am just going to go ahead and remove this fishing route that does not seem to want to connect. And since the city is now in need of some more residential and commercial buildings, I'm going to go ahead and zone these areas. So now I'm going to talk about how you can make money using the fishing industry, which is why you chose to watch this video. How the fishing industry works is that fish are collected by the boats on the fishing route. Then trucks will take these directly to commercial buildings to be sold or to a fishing market. The fishing market is an asset that comes with the DLC that trucks deliver fish to directly, and where Sims can go to buy the raw fish. Okay, so then how does this all make money? Well, in the game, you as the city are the owner of this industry. When your trucks filled with goods, in this case arrives at these commercial buildings and offloads, you make the money from this load. At fish markets, you make the money from these truckloads of fish when Sims in the city buy them at the fish market, so you become the merchant in this case. I am going to go ahead and make another shellfish fishing harbor over here. Set up the fishing route for that one as well. It is important to point out and understand that you will only make money from fishing harbors when trucks arrive, because if your fishing harbor is too far away from commercial zones, it will take your trucks longer to get there, and therefore your fishing industry will make less money. As for the fishing market, that I will be placing right now. You want to make these close to both the fishing harbor and residence. This way you can maximize your profits by having them easy for your Sims to access to go to, the fishing market to buy the fish, and faster for delivery times for your trucks. If it takes longer for Sims or for delivery trucks to get to the fishing market, it will make your fishing industry less money because of that. And just to make it easier for the trucks to arrive to the fishing market from the fishing harbor, I'm going to use the movement mod to smoothen the curves on this roundabout in these roads. Then I'm going to find a place to put one more fishing harbor, and this one looks like it's going to have to be a tuna one. There are no demand limits in the city for the amount of fish or types of fish that you can sell in a fishing market or to commercial buildings. However, there are geographical limits to how much fish you can fish based on the amount of water there is on the map that you are playing on, as fishing routes are not able to cross each other. In other words, you can fish in waters that are not being fished by other fishing routes. However, having said that, you can make as many fishing harbors as you would like to, and of course the more that you make, the more money these will make for your city. This is as long as they are set up efficiently and your trucks can get to and from fishing harbors from your commercial zones and fishing markets in a relatively short amount of time. I would be remiss not to mention that to operate efficiently, your fishing routes need to be long enough to fill up your boats, otherwise there will be less trucks leaving with smaller fish loads from your fishing harbors. It should go without saying, but you also make more money from fishing with a larger city population, since there are then more consumers to buy your fish produce. The Sunset DLC's fishing industry is not as complex and does not have the depth that the Cities Skylines Industries DLC has. Having said that though, it does offer another interesting industry layer to your city and offers you a different industry that is independent from all of the other ones. It also works a bit differently and more simply than the other industries. But then again, it is a fishing industry, so how complicated can it be? What I left out of this build, and that's just because I thought it would be too much in such a small city, are fishing factories. These are also included in the DLC that can take your raw fish and turn them into fish goods to be taken to commercial zones by your trucks for a profit as well, such as canned goods and jarred goods. I personally find that there are two other overall useful benefits to the fishing industry. One being that it makes your waters look more realistic and lively. The other is that this is a perfect add-on in industry to use if you are making a small fishing city, as it creates that perfect feel. Thank you for watching, and let me know whether or not you use the fishing industry in your city builds. And if so, what do you like or don't like about it? Well, until next time, take care and happy skylining.